Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's video, I will be discussing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Orchid, as well as taking a look at Uniswap, some interesting things that are going on there. If you guys are brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up like button. Let's get this video to 100 likes. We're trying to do that on every video now, and every like helps us out so much. It takes you guys like this much time to click that button. So thank you all that do hit the like button. Thank you regardless for also tuning in, and also click the bell icon so you guys can stay up to date for the latest cryptocurrency news and technical analysis. If you want to check me out on Twitter, I am on Twitter at AtlasOfficialTV. I'll show you guys that in just 1 second. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about all the news today and what your thoughts are. And also, you know what? Actually, nothing else. Let's just go ahead and get right into the news. So first up, my little Twitter handle, bottom left-hand corner right there, at AtlasOfficialTV, if you want to check me out. And let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin first off. Really interesting post right here. New subscribers to the Bitcoin subreddit. As you guys can see, the chart pattern here. But, you know, what's really so special about this? Well, look at this line right above my head. Just absolutely insane. Out of nowhere, right? So Reddit is a blogging website. I'm sure a lot of you guys are very familiar with that. But one of the big key things to highlight about this is like the WallStreetBets, which recently was talking about GameStop. And you guys probably heard about that in the news. And if you didn't, where have you guys been? So in short, WallStreetBet was saying, look, there's lots of shorts that are going on in these companies, and we don't like the shenanigans that's going on in Wall Street, and them being able to do that, to do even like 140% or 120% on short. It's like, what? You're borrowing extra on something you're already borrowing on? Like, this is so bizarre of a concept. And the market starts to manipulate a lot of this stuff from the big players so that when they short it, the people that are regular smaller retailers are the ones that are going to take the punishment for this. And then you got people like Robinhood, who is like, oh, you know what, we're seeing that you're actually trying to buy the stocks, we're going to prevent you from being able to buy. You can only sell now. Like, yeah, it's really crazy. The SEC is looking to all this, and hopefully Robinhood and I think Webull did it, and there was one other one. All these companies that are trying to prevent people from being able to buy and only allowing them to short. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and I think they should get punished. So regardless of that, when you take a look at the Reddit group that's been talking about that, a lot of people have been saying because of what happened with the stock market, that's just another strong reason why you should look into cryptocurrencies, or more specifically, Bitcoin. We know that there was also recently a big surge that took place with Dogecoin. Since then, a lot of that hype has now died off, as Dogecoin is a meme-based coin and doesn't really have any strong use cases for it. It's just basically like, I described it to someone else earlier, and you guys let me know if you guys like how I use this association. But it's kind of like a pet rock, right? Like, it's cool to own a pet rock if you think it's cool and you want to make a statement with it. But if you go to the pawn shop and you try to sell them your pet rock, they're going to look at you, and it's almost a dead set guarantee that they're not going to offer you any money for your pet rock. So you see some value in it because you bought it and it's kind of nice to have, but you also know it's a gimmicky, silly thing. It's not really anything that's all that great. So things like Bitcoin have a lot more use cases in its situation. There's a lot of other cryptocurrencies too, and I'm hoping that some people that got involved with Dogecoin don't feel a distaste for all of crypto, because if they lost some money on Dogecoin when it started to go down, a lot of people did take some profits on it. But if they look into Bitcoin, this is suggesting that people are transferring over into that. And there's actually another article I'm going to be reading, which is actually really, really important. I cannot stress that enough. It's like mega huge, could send Bitcoin potentially towards $50,000 very soon. I could see a number like that being very realistic, and I'll explain why. And there would be more than likely some selling pressure that happens at 50,000, mainly because of the psychological element. But other than that, if the players decide to keep holding on regardless at that point, we could very well blow right through it and start going to crazy numbers. But I think 50,000 is going to be a pullback zone where things start to cool down, and then that's a new high point that we have to try and work with for the next major run. Okay, so you guys can see this is absolutely stratospheric how many people join the subreddit because they want to talk more about stuff with Bitcoin. Next thing up. Also, I really like this guy's account. Visit Visa on Bitcoin. No reason why we cannot add it to our network, which already supports over 160 currencies. So the fact that they're now having discussions more about this, there's like a Visa debit card that you can use, and it has some stuff to do with Bitcoin. So they're already getting more and more involved into it. But what extent they're really going to elaborate even further on this is going to be so interesting. It's just exciting to hear them talking more about Bitcoin in general. And data reveals Bitcoin could be about to become the new GameStop after a huge spike in the price. Now data has revealed hedge funds. This is what I want to talk to you guys about. Hedge funds are short Bitcoin to the tune of more than $1 billion, even as retail traders pile into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. The net short position in Bitcoin futures is now the biggest it has ever been, according to the CFTC's latest Traders in Financial Futures report. Brokerage eToro, after adding 5 million users through all of 2020, registered 1 million more in the first month of 2021. Okay, the whole year, 5 million new users. In just January, 1 million people right off the bat. Really good start. If it did that every month, that'd be 12 million compared to the 5 million that joined last year, suggesting demand for equity and cryptocurrency trading is still growing among casual investors. With Robinhood halting trading on certain assets like GameStop and Nokia, and NASDAQ president and CEO Adena Friedman calling for regulations to prevent retail investors from coordinating on social media, the case for cryptocurrencies only grows stronger. Nicholas Pelikanos, head of trading at blockchain platform NEM, said in emailed comments, "I believe we will witness a new wave of investors come over Bitcoin and other major crypto assets as a result of this debacle." Excuse me. Got a little phlegm or whatever going on in my throat. Okay, so I want to elaborate on this a little bit more. The WallStreetBets. Some of you guys that are watching this, you might not understand what a short really is. You may just know the basics of it, and it's like, well, that's when the price goes down. They're going to be making when the price goes down. But how is it that they can actually get away with doing that? Excuse me again. So what they're actually doing is they're borrowing, right? So in short, in the explanation of this, let's say it's a Rubik's Cube, and I don't have quite the money to be able to buy a Rubik's Cube at its current price. So someone else has a Rubik's Cube. So I'm like, hey, I'll make you a deal, right? Let me borrow your Rubik's Cube, and I will give you back a Rubik's Cube if it goes down. So if it goes down, then I'm able to acquire the amount of value that this Bitcoin is worth, because this is being sold, right? So it's like, you let me have it. I'm going to go ahead and sell it. I'm going to take that money that I sold of your Rubik's Cube at that point in time. And when it goes down, now that I have money to work with, I'm going to go ahead and buy some more Rubik's Cubes. And then I'm going to give you back your one Rubik's Cube that you have. So that's to my advantage, right? And you're like, well, I didn't really gain anything out of that. Okay, but the risk that you're taking as the person that's loaning out the Rubik's Cube is, well, what if the price goes up, right? So I decided to go ahead and borrow this from you so I can sell it and take the money to be able to try and buy more when it goes to a lower price, because I think it's going to go down. But instead, I borrow it from you, I sell it for that price, and now the price goes up. Well, there's a contract term, right? So at a certain time, I am going to be obligated to have to give back to that person the one Rubik's Cube. And guess what? The amount of money that I spent when I got it, let's say it was $10. So I owe them $10 worth to be able to cover the cost of that Rubik's Cube when I bought it for them. But now the price of the Rubik's Cube is $20. So I have to buy back at that price because it was a Rubik's Cube that I borrowed from them, right? So now I have to give them $20. So, you know, it's an insane kind of concept, but hopefully you guys basically get the general idea with it. And so if you got a whole bunch of people that are shorting it, when their time ends on those contracts and they have to pay up because the price went up, they're now buying additional Bitcoin, right? Because they have to get back into the system. They're not buying imaginary Bitcoin. They're having to buy actual Bitcoin now, taking it off of circulation, and they're buying it at a higher price. So at the higher price, that also is going to cause a shortage in supply, in addition to that, right? So it just forces the price to go even higher, not to go down more, but to go higher. And so because there's $1 billion, more than $1 billion in shorts on Bitcoin, so many people can get liquidated. We just saw Bitcoin pass through $20,000 and went all the way up to $42,000. I hope you guys really wrap your brains around that. That's $22,000. And right now we're at 34,000. We already know 42,000 is possible because we've done it. And 42 is on that way to 50K, right? It's not just like it almost touched 40,000. No, it passed 40,000, passed 41,000, passed $42,000. So 50K is 100% in the realm of reason at this point. And this is the highest amount of shorts ever. So if enough people come in, the shortage supply is still going to happen. Grayscale has still been buying tons of Bitcoin this whole time. Well, there was a short period where they took a little break, but they've been buying at a high rate, even more than what they were doing at the end of last year. Since they've kicked back in here, you still have PayPal. PayPal is getting ready to announce that you can buy Bitcoin worldwide, not just through the United States alone. And then you've got all these other people that are big financial gurus that are talking up more and more about Bitcoin. You get the rumor stuff going on with like Visa, with what we're just talking about right there, and the discussions, what they have going on. You got the presentation that's going on with Michael Saylor's and MicroStrategy coming up on like February 3rd-ish, right around that period, to a whole bunch of companies to explain to them about Bitcoin. He's going to be telling a bunch of companies that are actually going to be attending this because they're in consideration of doing it too. You see my point? Why would they waste their time if they have no interest in it? They are investing their time, which is valuable, because of the fact that they have an interest in it. And if a percentage of those people come in, right, the ones that don't, there's going to be another percentage that will take longer and will eventually come in. And then you have a small minority of people that are going to regret, more than likely, not having participated in it at all. So the question is, what percentages are going to be moved around and how much of their investments are they going to actually be doing into this? But regardless, this is smart money. It is high levels of volume that can be expected to come in. We only have a certain amount of Bitcoin every day that can even be mined, and that's already being far exceeded. So the shortage supply is coming at a dramatic and drastic rate right now. And the result from this is going to be insane. And if you guys thought that passing $20,000 to $42,000 and how fast that happened was insane, just look at an example that happened just the other day. When Elon Musk, all he did is he put hashtag Bitcoin in his bio. That was it. He didn't say you can buy Teslas with Bitcoin. He didn't say Tesla as the company is buying X amount of Bitcoin, right? None of that was said. All he did was put hashtag Bitcoin, and the price of Bitcoin went up $5,000 in 1 hour. In 1 hour. If you did that rate, let's just say, hypothetically, right? No one sold, which we know isn't going to be the case, because obviously people are going to want to take profits, and at $5,000 per hour, some people are going to be like, you know, it's too good to be true. I'm going to get out of this before something wonky happens. But just hypothetically, in less than 24 hours, Bitcoin would already be over $100,000. Or to be more specific, it would be at about $150,000 from one day. Can you imagine? You're like, I'm not going to look at it for the next 24 hours. I'm going out on a camping trip. And you come back and it's $150,000. I would say the odds of this happening are less than 0.1% of a chance. It's theoretically possible. I wouldn't bank on it. But just using that reference point of like $5,000 that happened in 1 hour, you understand that if people really want to get behind something like this, the level of power that can actually be influenced with it. Look at Doge. Doge itself added billions of dollars, and it's a meme coin. Why? Because the general community rallied behind it. As more people start to learn about Bitcoin, they start to realize the truth of its value, the game is going to continue to evolve. people like WallStreetBets have been discussing more about the value of something like Bitcoin. And you're seeing a lot of conversions over of people leaving Robinhood and heading over to apps like Coinbase. Why? Because they're looking into cryptocurrencies more. And you just saw the Reddit group massively surged up even more. The next wave is coming. I hope you guys are prepared. If you're expecting Bitcoin to have another massive drop, the odds of it are far lower. If this was a roulette wheel, okay, it's like you're trying to bet on green. You got red and black, and you've got one green out of all those things. You're trying to bet on green thinking that it's going to go down. Your bet is much safer if you are looking to do either a bet call on red or black, okay? And obviously, that's 3 options that I gave you, but hopefully you get my association with it. So if the Wall Street Bet people decide to look at something like Bitcoin and say, look at how many shorts there are. We don't like how the suits are treating the regular retail investors like this. Let's liquidate all these people. By liquidating that large amount of people, it would send Bitcoin past the moon and go towards Mars. It's going to be insane. Now let's talk about what's going on with India. India plans to introduce a law. This is bad news. Maybe. India plans to introduce a law to ban Bitcoin and other private cryptocurrencies. India plans to introduce a law to ban private cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin in the country and provide a framework for the creation of an official digital currency during the current budget session of Parliament. In the agenda PDF published on the lower house website, the legislation seeks to prohibit all private cryptocurrencies in India, but allow for certain exceptions to promote the underlying technology, blockchain of cryptocurrency, and its uses. The law also seeks to create a facilitative framework for creation of the official digital currency that will be issued by the nation's central bank, Reserve Bank of India, the agenda said. Right? So this has been pursued previously, and the courts actually ruled in favor of a lot of the individuals that are stepping forward that are currently involved with the exchanges and things, right? So the fact that this is coming back in again, there's probably going to be an opportunity where, once again, people that are stakeholders holding into cryptocurrencies and the market space for that they're going to be able to voice their opinions with this. So it's not a guarantee. It's just the fact that it's being presented once again to the government. Like, this is a broken record at this point. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time that I've heard about India is banning Bitcoin, and now they're not. And now they did ban it, and then they unbanned it. And like, now they're thinking about doing it again, right? It's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, where their country is having a lot of issues. And you can see just how valuable Bitcoin and the mining process has been. Other countries are wanting to get more involved in the mining process too, because they also feel that can stimulate their economy. So if they pass this, it's not going to be good for the people of India. And I think what would likely happen is that there's going to be a lot of people trying to do it behind closed doors. You're going to have people that are going to want to leave the country because of the fact that they can't participate in this, or they're going to be traveling a lot more and trying to do these kinds of businesses elsewhere. And that revenue isn't going to be generated back for the Indian economy. It's going to help stimulate the other economies that are being a participant in this, especially if other economies are the ones that are accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment, and no one can accept Bitcoin in India, right? So you're going to see them struggling, and they're going to be left behind. You got to move with the tide. You're not trying to go against it. Next up, Grayscale. Now here's where we go into Uniswap. Grayscale reopens Ethereum Trust after altcoin registration bonanza. Grayscale has registered more than a dozen altcoin trusts with Delaware's corporate registry over the last weeks, indicating that it's looking to accommodate for investors' growing interest in altcoins. Coins on the list include Aave or Aave, I don't know how to say it still. I think it's Aave, Cardano, EOS, Uniswap, and Polkadot. I wish Orchid was on this list, but Orchid's still got to make some upgrades on their stuff before I think a lot more people are going to be giving it a lot more validity. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. All right, let's go ahead and get into the charts here. I'm going to move through these fairly quickly. Looking at Bitcoin, you guys can see we're now in the new daily candle position. It is 4:18 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as of the time of me recording this video. Yesterday, Bitcoin was on the verge of the daily closure between positive and going down. Right now it is slightly on the down position. So there was a lot of transition that took place yesterday. You can see it essentially bounced right off of my top level support. So I'm very proud of that movement on that system right there. That was at approximately $34,887, dropped all the way down below the 21 EMA, down to $32,861, but then retraced back up. So it didn't fill in this whole space, but it did go just slightly below the median zone. In fact, from the point that I have as a reference, it actually looks like it lines up dead center with what the price would be as of that date. So that's very interesting. Probably just coincidental, to be honest with you guys, but that is very interesting to just kind of see that. If Bitcoin decides today to go further down, let's look at the major levels here. $33,512 is going to be a key level on the 21 EMA. Further continuation down, we would see at $32,036. So just barely holding above $32,000. Right now, it is on the verge of breaking resistance, very close to it at the moment, at $34,515. And then a further continuation up would actually push it potentially all the way up to $36,886. And then we're going to be testing the waters again right around $38,000 to $38,600 range, right? We have a lot of association that seems to be going on at $38,000, right around at that peak. And then with what happened with Elon Musk, that was the $38,600 level. Passing above $38,000, we'll be pushing back up towards $40,000 and $42,000. And as you guys can see, based on the purple line continuation here, this is on the road based on a previous trend with Bitcoin if it was to go to $100,000. So as of today, if it was to get back into that pattern, the entry zone would actually have to be all the way up to $46,861. If those liquidations were to occur on all of those short contracts, it could skyrocket this massively. And I am telling you guys, a $10,000 gain in a single day, I honestly would not be surprised. I'm not saying that it's going to happen for sure, but would I be surprised? I'd be like, nope, I'm not surprised. I think it's very possible to happen. At the very least, obviously, a $1,000 gain, as we saw $5,000 happen in 1 hour. In 1 hour, okay? Let's just get to that point. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and Bitcoin shot up $5,000 because of Elon Musk changing just his bio. You can't sit there and tell me that $10,000 in a single day is ridiculous at this point. $20,000 in a single day. Although, yes, we haven't seen that happen before, we're proving that even at these price levels, just what kind of capabilities that the market can have with Bitcoin. And you have to also remember that we're still creating more of a shortage. There's still an increase in the number of whale wallets. There's an increased amount of time in cold storage on average that Bitcoin is being put into. So the more that keeps getting pulled off the side, the less that's readily available, and the more people are like, you know what, I better get in before it's too late. Those little moments is what's going to cause this to go insane. And the lower that the number of supply and circulating movement goes, and then the higher the amount of people that keep getting in, and then when that actual FOMO happens, the more likely it is to go up. The only concern is going to be those people that have the cold storages if they start flooding it all at once. That's the only real big concern. And, a lot of people are looking at it from a long-term perspective. A lot of people are looking at it like gold as a hedge against inflation, just in case. More of a security thing. A lot of people feel $100,000, $500,000 for a single Bitcoin is very plausible. So a lot of people may look at $50,000 and be like, nope, we're still not there. We're still not at the apex. We still got plenty of room to grow. You're growing this fast right now. Why should I try and capitalize on it at this rate? It's only going to increase even more, right? We're in a very unusual time in history. You may have missed the opportunity for the invention of electricity or something, the invention of the car, to say like, oh, I was there during that. You're here right now with Bitcoin. Potentially even a better movement. We'll have to see how it continues to evolve. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum real quick. Real quick. Yesterday, basically it went nowhere, so basically a dead day for what happened with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Stock market didn't do great. AMC did pretty good, though. So as of right now, slightly on the decline. If it decides it wants to go further down, we look at a level of support at $1,284, another level at $1,254, a further level down below that at $1,229. Those are some significant levels to really be highlighting. And a very big base level I'd be looking at, obviously, is going to be $1,000 for a massive, massive drop on a daily position. But the likelihood of that is very slim. And then a further continuation up, we got $1,420. Another break above that is going to be $1,480, which is the all-time high we've ever had. $1,500 would be a great psychological level. And then we're basically looking at like $1,750 to $2,000 is the next major pushing point. If it gets past $1,500 and holds strong, there's probably going to be major resistance there. But if it can hold strong and break through that, I think the run to $2,000 could be very well likely. And that could end up being where altcoin season starts to push up a lot more. Something like Orchid. So let's go ahead and take a look at Orchid. Orchid closed out the day yesterday in another green candle. Absolutely beautiful. Slight decline as of the new daily position. Everything's just kind of slow at the moment and showing a little bit of a cool down position. So if this decides it wants to go further down, we're down to 28 cents or 0.2845. Another level down below that is at 26 cents or 0.2661. And then a further level down below that, just slightly, would actually be at 0.2636, as you can see here on the lower level of the Fibonacci retracement. And a massive drop would actually see it push probably all the way down to the levels right around 22 cents or 0.2242. But the likelihood of that, I think, is diminishing. I'm a little bit concerned as we are forming in this transitional pattern, what looks to be like an ascending wedge format. And I'm concerned that that might end up having a reversal effect. But this has been up to $1 as of previously. You can see that there's also massive spike attempts. The 33-cent has been tested over and over again. We're inching closer and closer to that right now. Very close to breaking above 30 cents. Once we break above 30 cents, we got some resistance at 31 cents. But the big level is around 33 cents or 0.3373. Really try and get above that point. Well, actually, there's a little bit more strength at 0.3306. So 0.3306, get above that. Let's get towards 35 cents, break back into the 40-cent range. But the biggest thing is, can we close a daily candle above 33 cents? That's going to be so important, and that's going to be a very strong sign. The RSI is just slightly above the median zone, so not even suggesting like it's too overbought. The technical radar you guys can't see above my head, but it's suggesting a buy as well. So Orchid overall is looking still pretty good. And then last up, we're going to look up Uniswap. And looking at Uniswap, you can just see it is on a tear. It's getting close to $20. Oh, geez. In fact, did it actually tap $20? Yes, it did. On the daily candle today, it hit $20, which I believe is actually a new all-time high for Uniswap. So it is absolutely crushing it right now. Yesterday, with a huge gain going from a base on the candle position at $15.70 all the way up to $19.63. Still holding above the 21 EMA, having broken above the 1 on the Fibonacci retracement level here. As you guys can see, it decided that it wanted to have a very strong rally. So right now, past the $20 mark, I would really be looking at $22 as another major level of potential resistance. And then breaking above $22, the next major milestone would be all the way up around $34.49, approximately 50 cents. So this is absolutely crazy. But what happens if it decides it wants to retrace and people are trying to take their profits? Keep in mind the RSI is suggesting that it is overbought right now. The good news with Grayscale is absolutely crushing it. So if it decides it wants to drop down, let's take a look at a support level. A little bit of association that's going on right here. Not much, but that's, I would look first around $15.42. If it decides that it passes through that, then another level at $14.35. Relatively, and a big key level on the 0.786 of the Fibonacci retracement that coincides with the 21 EMA. That's $11.73. That would be quite a substantial drop, obviously, as that green candle, and that would be the biggest red candle that we've seen yet for Uniswap. It would have to be some horrible, horrible news. But yeah, as of right now, everything's looking really good. And just hypothetically, let's even take a look. If we did a 50% retracement back here, why do I always have trouble with this? Price range. It decides that it wants to go back on this daily candle position. That's a 20% drop. So let's just say it does half of that candle from yesterday. Then you're looking at right around a 10% drop. So maybe around $17.65 would be a halfway cut. I typically see these pull either about half or 2/3 of the way. So even right about here, another level around $16.71. So see if it bounces off that first level, bounces across the second level. If not, then we pull down even further to the levels I mentioned before. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video there. If you guys are new to the channel, once again, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like button. Thought this video would be a little bit shorter, but then I went on that rant earlier. And let's try to get this video to 100 likes. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you can stay up to date for the latest cryptocurrency news and technical analysis. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about today's news and what's been going on, what you guys think is going to happen next, and if there's anything that I may have missed. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode.